How's it going, mighty people? This is Mighty Imitation, and today I'm bringing you something that is long overdue, wanted by so many people. Ever since I posted my video demonstrating the mechanics of Emerald's broken RNG, my channel was blown up with questions. So today, I'll be answering all those in one simple, compact video to help you understand what makes Emerald so different from every other main series game, and of course, how you can snag those sweet shiny clones for yourself. So why is Emerald broken, and what exactly does that mean? Well, the first thing you need to know about is the seed, which is responsible for the creation of all Pokemon as we know it. Sorry Arceus, you ain't fooling us with that god spiel. The truth is, every time you turn on your Pokemon game, it generates a unique seed, which when watered with time and effort produces frames, i.e. Pokemon, some of which will be shiny. Think of it like a tree, except one that has no limit, reaching all the way to the heavenly home of our false lord himself. Now, I say this seed is unique, but actually it's just governed by time, meaning if you knew what time to calibrate your gaming system and open the software, you'll not only find shiny Pokemon, you'll have full control over what the seed produces and even find shinies with flawless natures and IVs. That's RNG abuse in a nutshell, but that's a topic for another video. So clearly, no seed is born equal, and unless you use external means to find the one you want, you'll never know what the game will throw at you. Except with Emerald. You see, Emerald isn't affected by time the way all other games are. The moment you start a new game, it creates a seed like normal, but when you save the game and come back to it later, a new one isn't created. In other words, the seed you're given for your particular save file is yours and never changes. It doesn't matter if you save the game again, if you soft reset, or if you change the clock in your room. Nope, not even time travel will unbind you from the ties of fate that is your chosen seed. The chosen one. That is, unless you start the game again. Which leads us to what you've all been waiting for. How to find your own shiny starter in Emerald. Why do I need a shiny starter, you may ask? You need it because you need an early shiny frame. And how do you get an early shiny frame? By finding a seed that gives you one. Friends, there is only one way to do this. A path only the bravest souls dare to tread. Should you accept this challenge, and desire to bask in the sparkly glory that is an early shiny frame save file, you must ride the truck of destiny to your new life in Littleroot. Take heart as you courageously confront a Zigzagoon. Throw the balls of hope assertively at your foe, and do it all again, and again, and again, until you've gone through over 100 save files and possibly found the shiny you want. Okay, in all seriousness, I only had to restart the game 73 times before my Trico shine, but it's different for everyone, and the key thing here is that resetting on just one save file is not an option. Because the same seed always generates the same frames, which is really just a fancy way of saying what personality a Pokemon will have, if you soft reset for your starter 50 times and haven't found a shiny, you can be pretty sure that you'll never find a shiny and that it's time to restart the game. Soon enough, you'll find that seed that produces a frame that gives your Pokemon shininess at the very start of the game. When you find it, shinies will appear at your fingertips. But frames pass by fast, 60 per second, meaning there's 60 potential Pokemon you can encounter every second. That's why you'll need to do around 50 soft resets in order to be sure that you won't find one. But these 50 soft resets need to be done at various delays to ensure the best possible chance of hitting different frames. The recommended method, the method I used, is to save in front of the bag like normal, then do 10 soft resets as fast as you can. That's the easy part, but the next 40 are going to require concentration. You'll need to use the location panel as a gauge, which is the big brown text box that drops down letting you know where you are. For the next 10, you'll want to click the bag only once it's dropped around a quarter down, or start dropping, then half down for the following 10, down completely for the 10 after that, and for the final 10 you'll want to wait a brief moment after it's fully visible before selecting your starter. Do this and your chances of hitting the same frames will be minimal, giving you the best possible chances of finding that shiny frame if there is one. Just because Emerald's RNG is broken doesn't mean the shiny odds are affected though. There's still only a 1 in 8192 chance that one of your early frames is a shiny one, and with the possibility of hitting the same frames per soft reset as opposed to each soft reset producing a unique Pokemon, you could argue the odds are even higher. Still, it only took me 3,727 soft resets to find mine, which is less than half the odds, so there's always the chance you could get lucky. And something to note, if you find a shiny Zigzagoon, then there's no need to panic. Zigzagoon is generated before your starter, so all you need to do is wait a little longer before you accept your starter, and the shininess will land on your starter instead of the Zigzagoon. It might take some time to get the delay right, but at least you'll know the game has that shiny frame. So, let's say you were crazy enough to attempt this hunt, and you found your shiny. Congratulations! Now it's time to use your early shiny frame to your advantage, which can be done in two ways: synchronizing and RNG abuse. The first method involves using a Pokemon with Synchronize which has the same nature as your shiny, because this is going to make it easier to hit your shiny frame again. Why the same nature? Because everything about your shiny is determined by its frame, including nature. Whenever you land on the frame, the Pokemon will always have the same nature and IVs as your original. This is why they're known as RNG clones, because the Pokemon you catch when you hit that frame will be identical in personality to your shiny starter. Synchronize is an ability that makes it easier to hit frames with the same nature as the Pokemon. That means if you use a sync which has the same nature as your shiny, you'll be 50% more likely to land on the shiny frame when you encounter a wild Pokemon. And those aren't bad odds. To do this, make sure your sync is in the first slot of your party and save the game in the patch of grass of your choice. This could be anywhere you encounter wild Pokemon, like caves or water. Depending on how quickly your frame comes up, you may need to save the game on a bike to force a faster encounter when you move. When you're set up, soft reset and start an encounter, keeping in mind how fast your shiny appeared before when you started up the game. It will take some trial and error, but within a few minutes or so, you'll hit that shiny frame again and a completely new shiny will be yours. Keep in mind though, the frame also decides what slot the Pokemon that appears is in. In other words, in a place where multiple Pokemon can appear, the shiny frame will land on only one specific Pokemon per location. Sorry, if you get a shiny Poochyena instead of that 1% Skitty, you will always find Poochyena. That's the way the RNG rolls. If you would like to watch a real-time demonstration of this method, then check out my original video that inspired me to make this one. Link will be in the description and at the end of this video. What if, I hear you ask, those random Pokemon in the wild aren't enough to satisfy your deep, twinkly hunger? Well then, you'll want to abuse the RNG, which requires you to download additional software, links in the description, and takes very precise timing. Yes, if you want that Black Rayquaza, you're going to need to invest some serious patience. What? He's like king of the shinies. He doesn't shine for just anyone. Cue massive debate in the comments section. Once you have that, you'll not only be able to see when your shiny frame appears to the millisecond, but you'll also be able to identify every shiny frame your seed holds as far as you have the patience to scroll. With this information, you can either land your original shiny frame for your target of choice, or you can look specifically for a frame that has the nature and stats you desire and hit that instead. It's cheating without the cheats, which makes it not cheating? Well, it's a more grey zone. But this is Pokemon, so who really cares? I know what you're thinking. Now, why do you need to use this method, you may be wondering? You have an early shiny frame, so can't you just stay in front of a target and treat it like you did your starter? Well, remember that Zigzagoon situation I mentioned earlier? It's like that, except instead of hitting the delay right like before, imagine you have to hit the delay right whilst juggling, blindfolded, being chased by the Zigzagoon. In short, trying to hit the delay for other stationary targets is something of a cheese before bedtime induced nightmare, because each stationary Pokemon has its own delay of when it will be generated, and there's absolutely no way to know what it is unless you use the external software. By some miracle, I was able to hit my shiny frame on Electrode without any help, but for Legends, forget it. Some soft resets needed to be blindingly fast, some super slow, and everything in between, just to hit the same shiny frame. You could go ahead and try and do it without help like I did, but strap yourself in for a long hunt with zero guarantee of success. On the topic of a long hunt, there is a way to get everything I've discussed in this video to work for Ruby and Sapphire too, not Leaf Green and Fire Red, but you should really save yourself the hassle and just do this on Emerald. For those masochists out there, however, because time generates seeds which is governed by the internal battery, as soon as this dies there is no time in the game and Ruby and Sapphire will immediately work like Emerald, which functions as though the battery has died already. And this is why when the battery dies you get the message clock-based events will no longer occur, but because this message takes a considerably long time to pass, performing this method on either of these games will take 2, possibly 3 times as long. Manage 500 soft resets a day on Emerald? Great! You'd probably only get 200 or so done on the other games. Also, it's important to bear in mind that because Emerald already treats itself like it has no internal battery, if the battery does die it will make no difference. You should really replace it if it has. It takes little time and skill and will increase your soft reset speed monumentally. Take it from someone who did. And that's really all there is to it. When you break it down, the Emerald RNG isn't as complicated as it sounds. It's just a seed that's forever stuck in time, doomed to bring you eternal shiny luck. I successfully completed my hunt by averaging 500 soft resets a day, so it only took me just over a week. But this was a long time ago, and I know many of you are interested in this topic, so if you'd like me to start up another hunt, only live and followed by a walkthrough of everything I covered, leave a like to let me know. If I receive enough, then that shows you guys want more, and I will certainly consider it. Though, Arceus help me. That does it from me. If you're new and you enjoyed my content, be sure to subscribe for more, it will really help a lot, and please feel free to ask anything I missed in the comments. Have you tried this out already? Did you succeed? Has this video helped you succeed? I'd love to know, and I read every comment, so don't hesitate to tell me. As promised, you will find links to helpful videos in the description, including my RNG demonstration and early shiny frame videos, as well as the software required to RNG abuse and how to locate your secret ID. I'll be uploading more regularly from here on, so look forward to that. But until then guys, have a blessed day and stay strong, stay mighty.